Hello, folks out there in the big wide world of the internet. This is Silver Smoke here, and I've got another gun review for you. This is going to be the last one in a while because I'm not made of infinite money, unlike some other folks on YouTube who got a lot of guns, a lot of ranges, and a lot of stuff. I'm not like Hickok 45 who has his own range outside his front lawn. Hope you enjoy it, Hickok, because not everybody has that. So it's probably a text message from someone. Anyways, um, let us get started with the review, shall we? This is the Taurus's PT809, one of their newer offerings in calibers 9mm, 45 ACP, and 40 Smith & Wesson. Uh, this is a polymer framed handgun, has a forward cocking serrations, Picatinny rail, dual recoil spring. I don't know if you can capture it right there, but dual recoil spring, and ambidextrous safety, ambidextrous slide release, so you have your slide release there and your safety there. Uh, has Novak cut sights, pretty decent sights, standard issue, nothing real special or different or trendy, just good old-fashioned 3 dots. Comes with ambidextrous mag release right there, and features a 17-round high-capacity standard magazine um, with a very nice and healthy finger extension. Um, Now, some of you out there might be wondering why a full-size pistol like this has a finger extension. Well, that is that actually helps complement the design of the gun. When I was shooting this pistol, not only did I not have any issues with failures to feed or jams, malfunctions, or any of that stuff, the little finger extension right here, actually, when the mag is inserted, it basically sticks out about I know a mag's loaded, but I'm not going to chamber around, okay? Um, when you look at the mag extension, alright, it helps extend the grip. So when your hands are around the gun, it gives a support hand more leverage underneath the firing hand, which allows for a much more stable grip position than any of the other pistols I've tried. And that includes Glock, that includes XD, that includes a lot of very well-made guns. And the grip on this is made in such a way that with that finger extension, it just helps the hand hold it that much more stable. The recoil is basically nil because it has that double recoil spring on there. So even though it's a polymer frame gun, the recoil is the same as a Taurus PT809 and Beretta 92 that I own, which are both stainless framed weapons, or stainless steel framed weapons. Uh, so don't be afraid that this gun's going to recoil like a bucking banshee or something because it's polymer framed. The takedown is very simple. All right. Um, Takedown is accomplished by pushing down on those two tabs and then sending the slide actually send the slide forward first and then push down on those two tabs, pull back the slide a little bit, and then off she goes. Unlike Glock, no dry pull of the trigger is required to field strip, so A+ on Taurus for safety. Um, Now I'm also going to demonstrate the safety. So on that topic, this weapon has a 3-position manual safety. It's hammer fired, so you've got your up position, which is for single action. If you want to carry it cotton locked, that's my normal main of carry for this gun. Safety on, hammer back. You've got your decocker, so you push down just like a PT92 series gun. Decocker returns to the forward position, and you have double action first pull. Um, you've also got you can also carry it with the safety on and the hammer down for that extra layer of protection. If you're the kind of person that wants to carry it with the uh, with the hammer and safety on and hammer down. So you have those options for carry. You also have interchangeable back straps. You change those by driving a pin, which is right there, out of the other side with the included security key, and just pop these off and change it to the size that fits your hand the best. The also has an internal lock, which is located and activated there. So for those of you that don't have access to gun safes, or you need to safe the weapon on the fly, and you got kids around or something, put the security key in there, turn it to the right, and it disables the weapon. I think it actually locks the mainspring housing in such a way that the hammer can't go back, so the weapon can't be manipulated, handled, or messed with. And likewise, you can turn it to the other side and disable it. So I'm not going to get into a big political discussion about internal locks, but let me just say that I would rather have a gun with an internal lock than to have to put an external trigger safety that has to be disabled or externally manipulated for any reason. So, because you can lose the key to that, and theoretically, yes, you can lose the key to this too, but that is a feature of the lock. I'll let you decide whether or not you like the capability of it or not. And yeah, that's basically about it. Shoots reliably. Never had any problems with it. Lightweight, but it's not unbalanced. It's not like a SIG Pro I tried on where it felt like the slide was 5 times as heavy as the frame with the magazine out. I mean, it's very balanced even with the magazine out of the gun. You've got your forward cocking serrations as mentioned before. And generally speaking, this is a really good choice. I picked this up for less than $400 online. Some places charge anywhere from $490 to $500 and up. I've actually seen it go for $600 in Illinois. So while we're on the topic of communist states, quote unquote, I'm also going to do a little info session for whether or not a particular gun I review is a part of a legal roster or not, for those of you who are unaware of that term. Some states like California, Massachusetts, etc. do have a roster where if a gun is on that roster for quote-unquote safety reasons, the citizens of that state can buy a gun or order a gun or have it shipped to that state. If the gun isn't on the roster, then they cannot buy it in the store, and they have to do some legal maneuvering, ducking, bobbing, and weaving to get the same gun into their borders. So this gun is not included on the California roster. It is not on the California safe handgun roster. So if you want to get this weapon, you'll have to do a private party from an out-of-state resident who brings it into the state, or someone who does a single shot conversion for it. I don't know who could possibly do that, but just know if you're a resident from California, it's not on the roster, so you cannot purchase this in an FFL store off the shelf. I haven't looked at the roster for Massachusetts, but I'd imagine it's the same deal for the other states as well that use that roster, including DC, and again, Massachusetts and California. So trigger pull is very good on this gun. As a matter of fact, do this quick safety check on this. It's gonna get a little awkward. So I'm gonna do this one-handed. Nothing in the chamber, and magazine is out. So trigger pull is excellent. For a polymer frame gun, it handles very well. You have a lot of slack, but when you build pressure to release it, it just goes. Like, it's the closest that you can probably get to a 1911 in a double stack 9mm or double stack in a polymer pistol of any kind. It's take the slack up. There's a little bit of slack to it. There's a pretty decent amount of take up, but once it's done, build pressure just a little bit, I mean, that break is crisp. It's crisp, quick, to the point. Double action. It's a heavy double action pull, but it's not weirdly staged or odd to handle. It's just your standard double action heavy trigger pull, and for what it's worth, it's very smooth. So I don't have a problem with it. I actually like the trigger mode in both cases, and to my hands, it's a vast improvement over what many striker-fired guns have in terms of trigger pull. So that's a good thing I like about it. It also has a loaded chamber indicator on the extractor. Not a big deal for those of you that check your guns the way you're supposed to, aiming in a safe direction and taking a look in the chamber, but it's something to note. And know that that loaded chamber indicator does not qualify this to be on any roster. So the same thing that I mentioned before about it not being on a California roster still applies. Don't ask me why, but that's how they do it. You got your finger grooves there, so your trigger finger can just rest right there, and that's also the same for left-handed users. And there you have it. So it's an excellent pistol. I like it. I highly recommend that you do your research. Go to your local FFL if you can. Go see a friend's gun. Do what you can to get your hands on it. See if it fits your hand. If it does, I highly give this gun a buy recommendation. It's a great choice, and depending on where you look, you can save some really good money in this tight economic environment from buying a Glock or an XD or similar weapon that costs $200 or more to acquire. So thank you for watching and taking the time to look at this. Silver Smoke signing off. Shoot straight, shoot safe. God bless.